Namaste. Hello, everybody. It's wonderful to be here again with you. Wish you all a very happy Navratri. I'm happy to chat with you again. Let's start with a small prayer invoking Devi Ma's blessings. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Matri Rupena Samstita Namastasye, 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 Namo Namaha. The word Navaratri is made up of two smaller words, Nava meaning 9 and Ratri meaning night. So every night we take a small pause from our daily activities and we rest. We go to sleep, we relax, and hopefully the next day we wake up feeling relaxed and re energized and rejuvenated. So that is exactly what we experience through this Navaratri. 9 nights and 10 days, we turn inward, we introspect, we look into our soul and connect with our spirit and align ourselves on the path of bhakti, leading to the Devi Ma. So, just like the goddess Shakti, Ma Durga, slayed the demon Mahishasura after fighting with him for 9 days, on the 10th day, she put her foot on his body and plunged her trishul, her trident, into his neck and killed this evil demon. So, just like that, we pray to the goddess Mata to help us destroy all the demons that are inside us, the negative qualities and tendencies that is in all of us. Most of the time they are dormant and sometimes they come up to the surface. Pride, ego, laziness, inertia, jealousy, obsession. We all have these qualities, and it's important from time to time to get rid of these, to destroy these qualities, and to enhance the positive and the good and the virtues in us. So Navratri is celebrated in India 4 times in a year. So in spring, at the beginning of spring, we celebrate the Chaitra or the Vasanta Navratri, and then we celebrate the Ashada Navratri. And this Mahanavratri or Sharad Navratri is celebrated at the beginning of the cold season as we progress towards winter. And finally, the Magha Navratri. The Vasanta Navratri or the Chaitra Navratri is more popular in North India, and it ends with the celebration of Sri Ramanavami. Whereas this Sharad Navratri, Mahanavratri, which we are celebrating now, it is celebrated all over India and all over the world where Hindus that celebrate Navratri live. So we know that one story behind the reason why we celebrate Navratri is the killing of Mahishasura at the hands of Ma Durga. The other reason that is also popular in some parts of India, especially in the north, it is believed that we celebrate Navratri to commemorate the killing of Ravana at the hands of Lord Rama. So Rama fought a battle with Ravana and his army, Rama and the Vanara Sena, along with Lakshmana, Hanuman, and everybody. And Rama killed Ravana. So in the north, it is very popular for them to celebrate Navratri with Ram Leela. Ram Leela is a tradition where they erect these huge, like 30-50 feet effigies of Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Ravana's son Indrajit. And during these 10 days, 9 nights and 10 days of Navratri, Ramayana is narrated. People read Ramayana, and there's a lot of mass prayers and bhajans and everything. And on the final day, on the 10th day, These huge structures that are built of clay, paper, and cloth, they are very colorful and beautiful to look at. These effigies are burnt, and it denotes the destruction of evil, the victory of good over evil. In different parts of India, Navratri is celebrated in different styles. For example, in Bengal, which is in the eastern part of India, Durga Puja is a huge thing. They erect these big pandals, and it's a place for people to congregate and do mass puja and do the collective arati. And it's a huge thing where people meet and celebrate Navratri together. And in the western part of India, in Gujarat, Navratri is celebrated with dances like Garba and Dandiya, which most of you must be familiar with. And in the southern part of India, of course, Mysore Dasara is so famous. In Mysore, the royal palace is decorated beautifully with lights. It's a wonderful sight to behold. And goddess Chamundeshwari, who is the presiding deity in Mysore, is carried on the royal elephant in a special palanquin with a gold canopy. And people come from many far distant places to witness this wonderful, beautiful Mysore Dasara. In Tirupati, during the Navratri time, Brahmotsavam is celebrated. Lord Srinivasa is taken along with his two wives on a different chariot each day of the Navratri. And in Kashi, in Varanasi, they perform Arati on the banks of river Ganga. In South India, we celebrate Navratri by displaying dolls. It's a tradition called Golu. We keep the Golu and we display dolls of deities and characters from everyday life on a staircase-like arrangement. And Navratri is also a time for socializing, as much as it is for meditating, chanting, introspection, for connecting with the Supreme. It's also a time to celebrate with friends and family. It is a very common practice to invite all your friends and dear ones into your house and to celebrate it with them. People chant stotras and sing bhajans together with everyone, and also partake of the special Nevedyam on prasadam, that is the food first offered to God and then is shared by everyone. The first 3 days of Navratri are dedicated specially to Ma Durga. So Durga not only slayed Mahishasura, but according to Devi Mahatmyam, which is a book that details how Ma Shakti killed different demons at different times. So if you look at the names of the demons that she slayed at various times, it gives a clue to all the negative qualities and the emotions that we carry within ourselves. So for example, the Devi killed Madhu and Kaitaba. Madhu meaning craving and Kaitaba meaning aversion. And there was another Rakshasa whom she killed, and his name was Dhumralochana, meaning literally smoky-eyed. So sometimes when you're smoky-eyed, when you're hazy-eyed, figuratively, you do not see the facts that are in front of you. And two Rakshasas she killed there were two Rakshasas called Shumbha and Nishumbha. Shumbha meaning doubting oneself, and Nishumbha doubting others. And there were two other Rakshasas that were also destroyed by Devi, and they were called Chanda and Munda. Chanda, stubborn, to be obstinate. Many times we have also been very stubborn. Sometimes we are so stuck on and adamant on certain things that even when our well-wishers give us the right advice, And even when people are trying to coax us into considering their points of view, we simply cannot because we are that obstinate. And Munda literally means headless. When you turn a blind eye to any advice that you get, and when you turn a deaf ear and you don't want to pay heed to the wise words that are being given to you, then you are almost as good as headless, right? Without a head. So these are the demons that are within us, and we pray to Goddess Mata to help us conquer these bad tendencies and demons and rise up and enhance the positive, the good in us, and become more purer in body and mind. During Navratri, it is common for people to fast, at least for part of the day. And they eat simple light foods like fruits, fruit juices, pulses, sprouts. And typically, we cut off all our indulgences. Like, we lead a life of excess most of the time. And this is a time to trim all that and be a little more austere and disciplined. Normally, even people who regularly eat meat, they stay away from meat during the Navratri time. And people abstain from smoking and alcohol. So, you do lead a disciplined and a more focused life, trying to chant and meditate and sing bhajans and recite shlokas and stotras, sing devotional songs or listen to devotional songs. If you see, there is a lot of scientific basis behind most of our traditions and practices. So the Chaitra Navratri and the Sharad Navratri, they occur when there is a change of seasons. So especially in this Sharad Navratri, when we are going towards a colder season, there is a risk of catching a flu or being exposed to some germs and viruses. It is a time when people tend to catch a cold, fall sick. So, of course, this year we are in the very unique situation of having this pandemic all around us. So we must say an extra special prayer to Ma Durga to deliver us from this scourge that's afflicted us. So when you eat clean, when you are disciplined, when you don't eat excessively oily, spicy food, when you don't smoke or drink, and you lead a slightly more balanced and focused life, then it's definitely going to help you increase your immunity, and it's keeping you in a better shape so you can ward off these viruses and infections. So that's also one of the reasons why, we celebrate Navratri at this particular time, and we celebrate it with such a discipline. So the next 3 days, day 4, 5, and 6, are dedicated to Goddess Lakshmi. Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. And when you say wealth, it is not just money, it is not just houses, property, jewelry, gold. It is also Lakshmi in the form of food, Lakshmi in the form of Lakshmi, the giver of food, is called Dhanya Lakshmi. Dhanya literally means grains. So it's the food that comes from the farm to our plates. And Vidya Lakshmi, the goddess of knowledge, even though Saraswati is the goddess of knowledge and intellect, Lakshmi is the giver of all things good and prosperous. So Santana Lakshmi, the giver of children. Children, you children in every household, you are the light of our lives. You are our real treasure. You have given a sense of purpose and a sense of a seriousness and a goal and a direction to our lives by coming into our lives. So you are our real treasure. Santana Lakshmi, Adi Lakshmi, Aishwarya Lakshmi, Gaja Lakshmi. So we pray to all forms of Lakshmi, and we we pray for peace and contentment, because the truly rich man, the richest man in the world, is the one who's free of stresses, anxiety, worry, and the one who has peace of mind, who has contentment. Contentment is hard to get. We all experience joy, we all experience happiness now and then. But contentment is something that we struggle with. It's so fleeting. It's very easy to get into this trap of constantly comparing ourselves with the next person. Oh, she throws better parties than me. Oh, he has more expensive cars. Oh, they went on a nicer vacation. Oh, they have a bigger house. There is no end to this, and this doesn't serve any purpose. The person that you're envying right now is probably, without your knowledge, secretly, silently envying the life that you have. So, we all have been blessed with enough and more, and we just need to pray to God to give us that sense of contentment and fulfillment that we so often lack. And the last 3 days of Navratri are dedicated to Ma Saraswati. Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, of intellect, of every art form, of any knowledge, be it a sport, be it any kind of music or dance or any art form, whether it's painting, drawing, whether it's playing a musical instrument, anything at all you want to learn, you want to increase your knowledge, then you need the blessings of Mata Saraswati. And Saraswati Puja Day, I remember in my childhood, all the children had to bring their books, 1 or 2 books, and the grown-ups would also bring their books and would make a small pile of books in front of the Saraswati Devi idol, and puja would be performed even to the books. And the thing that I really enjoyed about Saraswati Puja Day was the grown-ups would declare that we could not read or write until the puja was done and until the evening arati. It's not that I used to study every waking minute otherwise, but just this open free pass from the grown-ups saying that, oh, you should not be studying on this day, it just gave me such a special joy and a thrill. And in the evening, when they perform the arti, then one is supposed to pick up their book and then study at least for 15 to 20 minutes. On Ayudha Puja Day, we celebrate by worshipping the tools of our trade. Whether you're a farmer, a goldsmith, a carpenter, or a vegetable seller, or whatever may be your occupation, that is the day that we worship the gadgets and the tools that enable us to earn our living. So, in our normal households, on that day, we apply a small paste of sandalwood and kumkum to all the different appliances and gadgets that we use in our house on a day-to-day basis that enable us to lead useful, productive lives and make our lives easier. So it could be scissors, it could be your microwave, TV, your dishwasher, washer dryer, and my children especially giggle when I do that to all the appliances in the house. But it is the day when we pay respect to all the inanimate tools and appliances and gadgets that we use and that enable us to do our work productively and easily. And finally, on the last day, we celebrate Vijaya Dashami, which literally means Vijaya signifies victory, and Dashami is the 10th day. So, on this 10th day, we believe that Goddess Durga killed Mahishasura, and it is believed that Rama killed Ravana. And so, at the end of these 10 days, we would have been somewhat successful in slaying our demons and in rising and connecting with our soul and the Almighty. So, this day, Vijayadashami, is considered to be a very auspicious day. anything that you start on this day, any journey on which you embark, anything that you take up, any venture, any endeavor, any effort, will be blessed amply, and it is believed that it will be truly successful. Think about it. You have spent 9 days cutting out all the excesses. You have spent most of your time in prayer, meditation, chanting, and eating clean, light, healthy food. And you're praying to the Divine Mother to help you conquer over all your negative emotions and tendencies. And you're trying to rise above all that. So your energy is higher, your soul and your body are purer, and your clarity is better, and your focus is better. So obviously, anything that you start on this day is definitely going to be successful and victorious. So these 10 days, 9 nights and 10 days of Navaratri is similar to a baby coming out of its mother's womb after 9 months. So it is a sort of a reset button to your life. So you cut out all the stresses and the anxiety and the overindulgence, and you emerge from it with more focus, more clarity, and a little more closer to the Devi Mata. Thank you very much. That was the significance of Navratri. And now I'll speak about Golu, which is specifically the tradition followed in South India. And like I said, we display dolls on a staircase-like arrangement. And Navratri is very much a social function. So during these 9 days, every woman is treated as a form of Ma Shakti, and every girl is supposed to be an incarnation of the Devi Mata in a small child form. So in the Golu, in the doll arrangement that I was referring to, the convention is we start from the lowermost step, and we place the dolls in the order of evolution. So on the lowermost step, you would have lower creatures like maybe bugs, or if you have little toys of creepy crawlies, insects, fish. And then the next step would be slightly bigger creatures like birds, maybe if you have little clay dolls of peacocks or parrots. And then the next higher step would be animals. And then the step above that would be humans. So people from like common life, farmers, like a priest, a schoolgirl, you can have so many characters. There are interesting doll sets available, like a wedding party or a scene from a village. And then on the step above that would be more accomplished humans. For example, rishis and saints. You could have dolls of, say, Mirabai or Swami Vivekananda, Adi Shankaracharya or Ramanujacharya. And then on the step above that, you will start having your deities. It's very common to have sets of Dashavatara, the 10 avatars of Lord Mahavishnu, and then a set of maybe Ashtalakshmi, which is the 8 forms of Goddess Lakshmi. And then in the topmost step, you would have Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati. Durga in the center, flanked by Lakshmi and Saraswati. And on your topmost step in the center, you typically keep a kalasam, a kalash, which is a pot. It could be a metal pot, and it is filled with water. And the mouth of the pot is decorated with mango leaves. But here, since it is hard to get mango leaves, I have sometimes used persimmon leaves as a substitute. And on top of that kalash, we would keep a coconut. Another important part of the Navratri Golu is the Marpachi doll couple. So, a pair of dolls, a man and his wife, in Marapachi wood, also called medicinal wood. This is given to a bride at the time of her wedding, and this is placed in the Navratri Golu set, and it is handed over from generation to generation. This couple represents harmony and bliss in the family, and it should be part of everybody's Golu. Any number of different themes and doll sets, they run the whole gamut and only limited by your imagination. There's beautiful variety available, and this is a time when children and grown-ups get together and have a lot of fun decorating this Golu, and they make beautiful, vibrant, colorful scenes from, say, a village with the with a temple, with the village market, with people selling different things, and then there could be a river, and then there can be like the steps leading up to a temple which is on top of a mountain. So different people come up with different ideas and themes, and each year we see that the Golu offers a fantastic opportunity for people to mingle and to show off their talent and their creativity, and also to share and benefit in each other's wonderful company, chanting shlokas together, singing bhajans together. So this was the Golu, and the number of steps in a Golu has to be odd. It can be 3, 5, 7, 9, it cannot be an even number. So that was about the Golu, and I hope you all had a good time listening to what I had to share with you about the significance of Navratri and the keeping of the Golu. So I pray once again, I will end this with a small prayer. Let's all especially pray to the goddess to deliver us from this pandemic. Let everyone be healthy. We are going into the winter season. I hope everybody stays healthy and fit, and we find a cure for this COVID-19 as soon as possible, and we leave this well behind us and get back to our usual life, bonding and mingling with everybody, and sharing and spending time with each other. Thank you very much once again. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. Praying to the goddess Shakti, goddess Durga, to help all of us and to guide us and bless us always. Thank you.